a cup of coffee or something, like we do on Thursday morning.
There we go.
Just to keep us all hidden. We are live. Welcome in, everybody. Come on in. We see you out there in the hallway. There's coffee in the back of the room.
It's an exciting day for us today.
And even Glenn is pretty much on time. Glenn,
yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, afternoon, evening.
Ooh,
Morning.
Merry Christmas.
House
And
today.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah or something.
Yeah.
John Celestri will be here in about an hour, and if we get one more, we might actually be able to play tic-tac-toe.
There you go.
There we go. I keep telling Varian we need to do that. Just get 10 people together and have somebody be Peter Marshall, and we can take questions from the audience.
I'll be Madam Flowers.
Can I
be Paul Lynn?
Marv, step it out for a second. You can be Paul Lynn. That means you'll have to take the middle square.
I want to be Paul Lynn, right in the center.
Right in the center.
Right in the center square.
So we got a full house.
That a Phyllis Diller?
Pretty close. Yeah. Come on in, everybody.
A lot of exciting stuff happening today.
Everybody's got news. You got news, Glenn?
Yeah.
There we
Looking
go.
on hatch. Real
Awesome.
lettering. Real lettering.
Holy crap. Real lettering.
Real lettering on real board. Yeah, I know.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look.
So whack, 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 tack, tack.
Yeah, I swear.
All good.
Oh my God.
And he's in color as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coloring right on the board. Wow, how primitive.
That's lovely.
No, look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that book.
That's nicely done. Nicely done.
Real artwork.
Exactly. Yeah. None of that digital doohickey stuff.
None of that digital rubbish.
Yeah.
Just wait till your electricity.
Yeah,
bill.
those kids are using that newfangled stuff.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
They don't know what they're missing.
I've tried it, and I'd rather do it the old way.
Yeah, no kidding about, wait until your electricity goes out, because the other day we had some pretty bad thunderstorms with a lot of lightning, and it blew out my my computers. Like it shut off. It just shut off everything in the house. So luckily nothing. Everything's on surge protectors and everything.
Yes,
so luckily,
thank goodness you have surge protectors.
Yeah, no, because I had that happen once where where I didn't have one, and the lightning went all the way through. This was when we still had telephone cords connected to everything, and the lightning came through the telephone cord. And when I went to turn on the computer literally exploded. Half of it was like melted.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Communist plot.
Yeah, I know. It was scary. I was like, wait, what's that smell? I turned it on. I go, what's that smell? And then poof.
Smell-O-Rama comics.
Yeah.
Where's Russ when you need him? Where's Russ?
Try doing digital stuff during a lightning storm.
I need to send him a link too. He could be the 9th person. There you go. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us today for another episode of Sunday Funnies. As you can see, we've got a full house. We got a lot of news. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to talk about, and we're going to run the opening, and then we will get to the introductions, and then start the talking. So here we go. Oh, let's start with this one.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Daphne, do we have something we want to add to this?
Yeah.
Mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Daphne, do we have
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Come on in, everybody. Have a seat. Welcome to the Sunday Funnies for the lucky day, 7/11/21. 7/11/21, everybody.
Sure.
Free Slurpees for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't take our word for it.
Look it up. You know?
It's my daughter. It's my daughter's 44th birthday today.
There we go.
Well done.
Happy birthday.
Wherever she is.
Nice.
There's a few bells for that. Come on in, everybody. I am your host, Randy Zimmerman. I'm a longtime alternative and independent comics creator. Been doing this for many years. Freelance for a lot of people. Done just about everything in the direct market that you can imagine. And now I'm here on the Indie Volt Radio Network doing the Sunday Funnies. So want to welcome everybody. Glad everybody came in so early on Sunday morning, especially since 24 hours ago I had absolutely no idea who we could get for the show. And I kept having people texting me going, "Hey, I'm not going to make it Sunday." It's like, "Hey, I don't even remember inviting you." But that's okay because everything's been crazy lately.
Yeah,
just lately. Yeah,
just
only lately.
Yep. And as we go around the room, we can talk about our new. Well, no, let's introduce everybody first, just so the radio audience knows who everybody is, and then we can go back around the room and talk about everybody's news.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Co-hosting with me today is Daphne Lage. Daphne,
good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. And I have been self-publishing comics since 1992 because I don't know any better. And I am known for the funny animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy soap opera Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. Thank you. I'm also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I am just beginning to ship out the last of the Kickstarters this week. I'm just finishing up all my sketch covers. I got like 24 of them to do, so please be patient. Thank you. And you can read both my comics online at talltalesonline.com, TAILS, and eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all of my videos on how I make my comics on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art. And warning for everybody, if you hear any weird noises in the background, I have a parrot and 2 parakeets in the back, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. So if you hear any strange noises, it's probably them.
Especially if it sounds like a smoke detector or a garbage truck back.
Yeah, exactly.
Daphne's in New York City. I'm in just barely south of Flint, Michigan. And joining us today from Louisiana is Mr. C. Michael Lanning. C, introduce yourself.
Morning, I'm C. Michael Lanning, independent artist. I've done work for Silverline and doing some exciting work for Arrow on the book Calico of Shard, which I guess we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm from Louisiana. So if y'all hear a couple of y'alls in there, you know why.
All right.
Y'all.
Oh, I thought I had the cover of Calico here to set up, but I guess I don't. Anyway, joining us all the way from Portugal is Mr. Marvi this morning. Marvi, how are you? Are you there, Marvi?
I think he's lagging a bit.
You're lagging a bit, Marvi.
Hi,
good morning.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you.
And
so today I'm going to launch. Sorry?
We'll get around to the news here in a second. Just introduce yourself right now.
I'm from Portugal. I'm the writer and creator of the Sin Killer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm the writer and creator of the Sin Killer, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Also joining us today is Mike Jimmy. Mike, introduce yourself.
All the way from the Netherlands, so just a bit more from Portugal. I'm Mike Jimmy de Bruin. I am a comic creator. I am a publisher. And for the people watching, all the stuff behind me, except for a couple of things that I backed the last couple of months ago, I do all of that. And yeah, check out Live from Cora on Indiegogo. That's running for a couple of hours more. And yeah, I draw a lot, and that is usually what I do in a day.
Okay. I just got notification from Indiegogo today that I have backed 31 campaigns.
Wow.
I went, wow. Yeah, that's what I said too. I think, man, I'm spending too much money not getting enough books in. Come on.
Yeah.
Need more books. Here we go.
Not with various ends. Not with me.
Also joining us are the inking hands of Rich Perota. Rich, introduce yourself.
That's me.
That's
Hello,
you.
my name's Rich Parada. I am a former Marvel and DC Comics artist. It's okay. Look,
We
you know how
won't
many
hold that
people get
against
that
you.
name? It's not even a thing.
Okay.
Well, why, thanks. Anyway, my name's Rich Parada. I am a former inker for Marvel and DC Comics, working on as whatever title you could possibly think of over at Marvel, and was the primary inker for Booster Gold and The Ray when I was over at DC Comics. Have been a penciler who inks his own work in the indie industry, in the independent comic book industry for about 7 years. And just earlier this year, I started my first self-publishing venture, and it was a success for the first one. And now I'm on the second chapter of my book called The Incantessi. And right now there's a Kickstarter going for it. We're halfway through it, and we're almost at the goal. And what you're seeing me ink right now is one of the pages. Oops, sorry about that. One of the pages from chapter 2, which is running right now on Kickstarter.
Cool.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Nice.
Also joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Yep. Also joining us this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Thanks, Randy. Always good to be on here. Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm an English writer, artist, cartoonist, and publisher. I've written and published books on many different subjects, such as science fiction, JK assassination, World Cup soccer, Come on England tonight, written illustrated children's books, adult cartoon humor books. I interviewed several of the men who walked on the moon and wrote a book about that. I also wrote a book about my father's account as a paratrooper on D-Day. And I like to travel the world, and I went to Easter Island a few years ago, and I've published a book on that, which contains over 100 of my photographs. In 2019, I published a 120-page book called Jack Kirby Variations on a Theme, which features articles about Kirby from other writers and my meetings with him. And I currently publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page bi-monthly magazine about comics, and all those things are on Amazon. And last but not least, in 2017, I released a DVD about my 2 visits to Jack Kirby's house, and I'm re-releasing an updated version, which will be streamed on my new website when it's up, and I will tell you all about that when that's obviously up and running. And I'm currently working on my cartoon character Hatch's second comic book, 2 more novels, and a children's illustrated book, and that's on Amazon now. That's the first book.
There we are.
It'd be easier for him to list what he's not doing.
I'm not going into orbit today.
Right, not today.
but let me tell you,
Or designing a rocket.
I was the first civilian, so to speak, who landed the space shuttle on the simulator. And they told me that they interviewed. I'll tell you about that another time. But yeah, at NASA in Florida.
You still have yet to tell me your Marilyn Monroe story, too.
All right. Oh. Right. Okay.
Glenn has too many stories.
Later on. Read the book.
Read the book. Read the book. Yeah, there we go.
So that's it. It was great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for coming on. And we'll have a few more people popping in and out as we go along. At least one more that I'm aware of. If he makes it, we'll see. But anyway, we're going to go around and talk about everybody's big news. Everybody's got big news, one way or another. I just got the Revolt book in on Friday.
Yeah, saw it. Yeah,
looks awesome. Look at how thick that looks.
Wow,
nice.
It's a fantastic little flip book there.
Ooh. That's so pretty.
Ooh, black and white greatness. Now I get to mail it out to everybody. So hey,
yay!
There we are.
Nice.
Over.
Yay! Awesome.
3, 5, 6,
Full screen though, Randy. Full screen, man.
Full screen.
Yeah, show it off.
I can do that. I can do that. Yeah.
Boom. 20 stories. 20 stories tall, 140 pages thick.
Wow.
Great little book.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of wonderful oddities in there. Glenn Fleming's in it. Michael's in it. Daphne's in it. Daphne did a cover of a character of mine, Mischievous and Ganda, actually, pair of bounty hunters.
Oh yeah.
For the book, did an original story that's inside. First Mischievous stuff that's done in quite a while. And the printer, when I went to pick it up, they said, "Hey, They like the cover so much, they decided to print it and play around on some silver paper.
Oh, yeah.
So look at that, nice and shiny. I sent a picture of that to Varian today because I know he's a sucker for shiny covers. So
wow.
it's a shiny cover.
Do you kind of regret not doing that for the campaign?
I kind of wish the option was open because I'd have done, at least a couple dozen just to send to the talent like that.
Oh, were they they were just testing it?
Oh yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah, they said, "Hey, we got in some fresh new paper and thought we'd try it out because normal chromium paper, and that's a problem that the frog guy ran into. You can't be real thick on some of that because the coating will crack when you try to bend it.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to be really careful on how you take it and how you fold it. But apparently this paper would have worked really well. So
cool.
Next time we get a crowdfunding book, we'll offer a silver option.
How much more does it cost to do that?
I don't think it's much more.
Wow. Yeah, no. Usually it really isn't that much more. It's just a matter of the paper stock being more expensive.
Yeah, and just paying for the paper stock.
And also recently there was a shortage on the metallic papers. I had because my printing for Eagle Raven was delayed because all of the metallic papers were were available nowhere, and you had to wait for it to, I guess, to come in from wherever.
Somebody to make some,
yeah.
Yes, the supply lines have been cut, so
that's
we're learning rather painfully how great it is to outsource stuff.
Yeah, I know, for real, right?
Yeah, everywhere.
So a lot of grocery prices are jumping, and a lot of supply stuff. Lumber jumped for a while. It's finally starting to calm down as of the last couple of weeks. So as they chop more trees and make more planks. Just crazy, all the stuff that you would never expect, but you put the world on hold for a month and see what happens. Everything
they've got to get the money back, haven't they?
Yep.
So
my big complaint now is the customer service is right out the window. So all of the fast food restaurants here are still drive-through. Some of the regular restaurants have cut their hours tremendously. And there's big signs on the door apologizing that they're not staffed properly. Please be patient, that kind of thing, because they're still offering unemployment here, and everybody's still taking advantage of whatever. I think that Michigan stopped the federal funding, but they're still having a hard time staffing for places.
Well, but also it's given a lot of people. I mean, you have a year and a half to think about what you really want to do with your life.
Yes.
And and it's and there's a lot of people who decided that it's what? Let me figure something out so I never have to work in those situations, in those types of jobs again. So I mean, I know for a couple of years ago, Walmart was complaining that people would rather work for Uber than work at Walmart. So they had problems getting people. So it's really, you gave people a year and a half to think about their lives. So, really.
They've gone through and solved that problem with self-checkouts.
Yeah.
So very few regular lanes.
I think we should all
not for nothing.
We should all demand a discount if they're going to be checking our own stuff out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Only the people who own those stores get to save that money, not us.
Yeah.
But not for nothing though. I really do like self-checkouts.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry.
Trust me, if I'm in a hurry, I'll take the self-checkout anytime. Even in the Netherlands, they're always empty and you can just move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because most people, they don't like using them or don't know how to use them, and a lot of places they don't staff anybody to be near those registers either. So if you know how to use them, you are in and out. You know, it's you don't have to be what happened to me the other day where they forced everybody to go online and I had to stand there waiting for the manager to be arguing with somebody over something stupid when I could have been in and out from the self-checkout.
Yeah.
But all those people are going to lose their job, aren't they, if they go to self-service?
Well, that's
I'm not a big fan of that either.
And then soon all the supermarkets.
I'm not a big fan of that at all.
Yeah.
I never go through a self-check, never.
No, I don't.
That's someone's job.
Yeah.
That's someone's job.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
And about Walmart, living in the UK, I got to tell you something. Living in the UK, I really am a very fortunate man because I was diagnosed with cancer, but I found out I had cancer in the United Kingdom. And I'm okay now, but they missed the diagnosis in the United States, and heaven forbid that I had to have the treatment in the United States. It would have cost me just about $1 million. I would be in debt for about $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I was in the United States doing that, and all Walmart has to do in order to, the reason why people are choosing Uber over Walmart is because they pay crap wages and they don't provide anything. So it's like, if they decided to raise the prices of everything by 5 cents, you can give all your employees a good $3-4 an hour raise and provide health care for them.
Yeah.
Right. Who was the guy who was in charge of Papa John's? Sean Shatler, right? Shatter, whatever his name is.
No idea.
Yeah.
This guy, he did, according to him, on principle, he wouldn't raise the prices of his pizzas 10 cents because he didn't want to give insurance, provide insurance, like complete coverage, healthcare coverage to all of his employees. He wouldn't raise the price a dime. A dime.
What? I mean, do you know how expensive football teams are to buy?
That's what
I know. They're so terrible. I know.
Have to raise it 10 cents.
If he raises,
cut back.
How many politicians can I buy? How many whores can I have assassinated before I go away?
No, cocaine doesn't snort itself.
If that guy raises
exactly, that's my thinking.
If that guy raises prices, it's me who's paying for it, not him.
Yeah.
So why does he have a problem?
Because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
In the end, it's like a lot of these people are bitter assholes, and they don't want, they look at us like trash. Like we're just in the way. If they could replace everybody with robots, they would.
There's a guy at Amazon already as it is.
Yeah. There's a guy today with the football finals on later at Wembley, Wembley Stadium in London.
Yes.
And the leader of the opposition, Mr. Keir Starmer, I think he's called or something, was complaining about all the social distancing a couple of weeks ago. And today it's revealed he just got 2 tickets for the final and it's going to be full. So,
oh God,
he should give those tickets to me.
There we go.
Well, because you need them for research. So this is like you're doing good.
Like our governor. Our governor during the pandemic split the state up into zones. So zone 3 zone 1 had to have a severe lockdown. Zone 3 wasn't so locked down. But amazingly, the area up north where she has her cabin and does majority of her vacationing, hardly no restrictions at all. Surprising how that worked.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Daphne, do you have any comic news?
Well, I mean, it's like I said, it's like I'm just sending out the last of my Kickstarter rewards for Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. I am currently working on hella sketch covers that I still have to color in and everything. Like I said, I think this is 24. Oswald still holds the record for the most sketch covers. I think at 27 or 28. You would think I would have learned my lesson, but no, of course not. And also, it's like I'm just I finished inking a short story, an Eagle Raven short story that's going to appear in the direct market issue of Indie Vault Revolt in October. Yes. So I'm just like sitting on it a bit to kind of let it percolate so that I can go back on it and check the lettering and everything, and then I'm going to send it to them. But and it's like and depending on how it goes, there might be more stories appearing in Indie Vault Revolt on a semi-regular basis. So depending on how quickly I can get my butt together, because I'm still putting together the campaign for Tall Tales Thieves Quest Volume 2, which is where we're gunning to have this campaign go live this month. either on the 19th or the 26th. So it just depends on whether Kickstarter approves it. There we go, in advance or not. So, how quickly they approve it. So I have that to put together. I have my Eagle Raven campaign that's going to go live in September 20th. So I'm putting that together. So yeah, and no wonder I hurt my neck the other day.
Yeah.
So that's keeping busy, man. Keeps me off the streets.
Stretching that neck out just a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
be careful.
Whoa, okay. Oh, wow, that's an adult thing.
Right. Oh, I wish it was. It was really the strenuous exercise of sleeping. At least the other way, would have been, oh yeah, sure, worth every penny.
Yeah.
We have
my virgin ears. I can't handle all this talk of carnal stuff. I'm so.
By the way, everybody,
beautiful Christian ears.
We are TVMA DLSV. Just to give you a fair warning.
Just in case.
What does that mean? That sounds like menu items or something.
Yeah, mature audience. MA is mature audience.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, it just means that we're fucking idiots and we have no idea what we're doing on air.
Yeah, pretty
much.
God,
and YouTube
you guys are the cool cats. I'm the tag along. So
YouTube wants that classification just in case sensitive ears are listening. So
yeah,
okay.
So we give everybody fair warning that we might say some naughty words.
Right.
Really corrupt your kid. Not really.
Oh yeah.
How the kids know what the words are.
Every single form of porn you can get.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. See, Michael.
Yeah.
Any news?
I'm in the middle of doing the second issue of Calico of Shard for Arrow right now. As far as like Silverline, the first book that I've ever done is actually getting inked, and I think maybe by the end of the year we might see a crowdfunding from them. So
there's the cover for one up on the screen right now.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to this book.
Yes. I want this one.
I love drawing it. I'm interested to see where we're going with it. I like the story. It's exciting to me to be able to do something that I can do an eclectic characters, because you see you got animal, you got part animal, part human, all human, fairy. So I kind of exercise a whole bunch of stuff on it, so it's really exciting to do.
How would you describe the book?
Definitely, it's fantasy.
He's foolishly laughing. Yeah.
But is it an all ages fantasy or something else?
I would say it's available for anybody who wants to read it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is. It looks like
the label all ages has such a negative connotation, especially in the retailer market. Don't really want to say it's an all ages book. Yeah.
Really? I mean, the amount of people who complain that there aren't enough all ages stuff and retailers are purposefully avoiding it.
Always has been that little prejudice there about a book that's all ages. Yeah.
Wow.
So
here I was fretting on finally putting a mature audiences label on my book, and it's like, because I know some people are not, but really all ages.
Well, that's needed to keep the angry mom mob at bay. You want that mature label on there. If there's something that's there that's in your book that would be not for kids.
Right. Yeah.
But all ages has always had a negative connotation with the majority of the retailers out there, because that's not their audience. They've been told and programmed by Diamond what their demographic is supposed to be, and that's what they figure that they need to put on the shelf. But
because that's not what I get at conventions. They're like, "Is this all ages? It's so hard to find. Is this all ages?"
Times are changing greatly.
Yeah,
thankfully. And that the audience is maturing, hopefully. And one thing I keep hoping is that we'll get out of this Beavis and Butthead stage that we seem to have been had our head in the 90s, where everything was over exaggerated, and not a lot of the anatomy was way too over exaggerated, and all of the wrong directions as they were aiming at an audience that they were always told were the ones that bought comics. So
Yeah.
but that doesn't hold true.
God. I
mean,
love
look,
you, Randy.
I mean, I'm not saying those books shouldn't exist, but the problem is that when
Absolutely.
when every book that comes out,
Yep.
you know, it's kind of like how movie studios always misinterpret what makes a movie successful or not
Right.
successful.
Yes.
And it seemed that Marvel and DC had the same thing, where it's like everyone was really enamored with The Watchmen and Dark Knight, and the lesson that they took for us, like everybody wants dark, realistic stuff.
Yeah.
No.
You know, and don't cut yourself on that edge type of stuff. You know, I mean, it's like,
back then, you know, when Chris Bachalo was working for Marvel, they came in and they told him straight up, okay, draw like Jim Lee, which is not his style. And he's like, man, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do this because this is just not me. This is not working. And they saw Jim Lee so they went in, everybody draw like Jim Lee. Everybody draw like Jim Lee.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like, no, that's not
Nobody
why people, I mean.
Identity.
Yeah.
Guys, I was working at Marvel during that time. They had the temerity to ask Herb Trimp, you know, the guy who first drew Wolverine, to draw like Rob Liefeld with all those ridiculous hat
Oh
shapes.
my God.
That's the worst.
I looked. I actually saw the page, real life, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding. This is a legend,
This is what
a
the kids
living
want.
legend who is told to draw like Rob Liefeld without feet. I was just like, you got to be kidding.
Right.
It's hard. It is. That's what happens a lot, though. You know, I mean, if there's like one trend that all of a sudden hits, I mean, the same thing happened with the Blair Witch Project. And all of a sudden, there's a crap ton of films that have found, quote unquote, found footage.
Yeah.
What happens? You see, Hollywood execs or editors of certain unnamed comic book companies, they don't really have any type of imagination when it comes to what concept they're going to have. So they take what's going to hit, and then they beat the living crap out of it for about 2-3 years until it's dead, and then they move on to the next one or the next thing that they might see.
Yeah.
That's really all it is, and it's a shame. Because what all of you were saying about like the extreme stylized versions of all that seems to be the overwhelming majority of all the stuff that's being crowdfunded these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you think about it,
and then
it's
not
like
everything, but there's a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh no, I never said everything. I'm saying that like a good portion of it, a very good portion of it.
Well, there's still a large section of the comic reading market that go back to those 90s days as nostalgia.
Yeah.
So they want things over exaggerated, and that like we said, there's always room in the market for everything. Mm-hmm. But the market needs to grow up so that everything makes money. Or everything of quality that comes through makes money, and that a lot of these stereotypes, like all ages books or even mature books or whatever, aren't stuck, in places that keep them from being visible or keep them from being sold or keep them from the audience that wants to read them. I watched the Image come through and run shotgun over top an entire industry that at the time was in the middle of a black and white movement that was really starting to stretch the extent of the genres of the different books that were saleable. And just as soon as Image popped up, all the retailer money just got sucked away right into Image. And it caused, it helped in the black and white bust. Granted, the black and white bust had already begun because so many people had come in and abused the system and was doing every bad, crappy black and white book that they could possibly poop out that they could get Diamond to take into the green section. But there's a lot of quality books out there you don't hear about anymore that were really good books, like Fish Police or Troll Lords, or the list can go on and on. You don't hear much about Love and Rockets anymore. There's so much great quality material.
Book.
Yes.
I mean,
there's a lot of very underrated books that got bowled over during that period. And we're now, again, with crowdfunding and with the way the market is opening up, Diamond doesn't have the foothold that they used to have. You're starting to see things open up again and see a lot of more unusual and different quality things come out onto the market that are a lot of fun. So
yes, that's very true.
There's a lot of the established businesses going under, aren't there, at the moment? It's, heading down with like the BBC, and all this kind of thing. That everybody seems, all the big guys like Marvel and Disney seem to be going down, losing popularity, and even though they control the market, but they seem to be losing a lot of that control now.
Well, I think you've also seen a shift away from these companies wanting to having their primary focus to make money, to make capital, and to do things that people want to buy. To having somebody get the idea that they can express themselves by soapbox all the time, and they've literally eroded all of the major franchises out there. I don't think there's a single franchise out there anymore that hasn't been touched and eroded or screwed over in one form or another, where you've got the fans screaming more against it than they do for it.
Yes.
And it's all been a very conscious effort to do it too.
And the thing is, though, too, is that like to them, though, to the executives, this is all just another trend they're latching onto. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything to them. So it's like the second that it's like they see that, oh, we're not making money off of it, they're going to move on to the next thing.
Well, that would have been 3 years ago if that was true.
I mean, it's just waiting for that phase to go through.
Somebody would have done a hard barrel roll right after The Last Jedi came out. If that hasn't happened.
Not really, because it's like there's still a lot of people, there's still a lot of executives still digging their heels in, because like it gets, like Kathleen Kennedy, I think it's like, she thinks she's a troll. She's a major troll. So it's like, so she's talking this way because it gets all the attention from the other trolls online. So it's kind of like they're feeding off of each other. So that whole attitude has to die. The whole creating by Reddit, like how many people can we piss off online for the publicity? So
that's been adage. Bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, it's been Marvel's policy the last 5 years. Who can we piss off now?
I see this as a great. I see this as a great opportunity, though, for the likes of us to step into this.
Absolutely.
Because we were saying before about the pandemic, or touching on it. I wouldn't be talking to you guys now if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
And look where we are. We're in the United States and in Europe, and we're producing, I think, good work. Yeah. But at least you guys are. I'm not sure about mine, but you guys are.
Oh no, come on!
Everyone here, you got some of the most experience on it.
The best two things when I come on this show are Daphne's laugh.
Oh yeah. The battery gets you everywhere, sir.
And that bloody parrot in the background.
Man. That's what I say.
That's what he says. No, but I think there's a great opportunity for people like us to get to. I won't say control is a bad word, but I'll say it: control the market, so to speak. Because there's a lot of talent out there, as we know, and it's all washed under the whatever you want to wash it under by Marvel and Disney. They have these set rules and stuff like that. But I think it's a fantastic time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad news for people who are dying and all that, and it's serious. But I'm talking about our opportunity. It's a fantastic opportunity. And it's great to see everybody going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, because that's the thing, because like on one hand, it's like, a lot of people, you don't want to dismiss what actually happened this last year and a half, but creatively, this has been my best. I mean, I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
Artistically, I mean, I've never been this busy. I've never done this much artwork. I mean, it's just, I actually kind of miss lockdown in a certain way.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Yeah, it's the truth. I mean, it's like, facing death and from two different ends, that changed my perspective, and it made me want to do what I do now. More than anything. And now that I have it here, it's like I don't want it to ever end.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's amazing what you find out about yourself. I mean, not just me, but in general, it's like amazing what you find out about yourself when you're up against it, or if there's something that's in your way that can be really, really terrifying.
And
that includes everybody here. I mean, hats off to all of you for all the work all of you have done.
Yeah,
really. I mean, and it's wonderful.
there's such a lot to do, and I mean, apart from the pandemic, you know, we're all a long time dead. So if you've got a story to tell or to draw or anything, just get on with it.
Yeah,
Just
for
get on
real.
with it.
For real.
My apologies, Russ. I just realized that you were there in the green room.
Oh no, he was just like hanging
Welcome
out.
in. He's been hanging there for quite a few minutes.
He's just in the background listening.
Hey,
Hello,
Hey.
Russ.
Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
Russ.
Hey, Russ. How you doing, buddy? What's
Russ,
up?
Yeah, it's
introduce
all right.
yourself
Yeah.
to the radio audience real quick, will you?
I'm just up the road from Rich. You're in the UK, aren't you now, Rich?
Yes, sir. I've been
Yes.
here
Ooh,
for
they're
over a year.
neighbors.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
We are
Next-
neighbors.
Automatically neighbours.
Countries are so small, it makes sense.
You're only at most an hour away.
Yeah, damn
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I'm neighbours. I'm
Yeah.
neighbours with Mike. I mean, I'm not that far.
No.
It's like what? It's like, I think what? It's like it's only a boat
4
ride
hours
and
more
like
drink.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
there
say
you
a little
go,
It's
yeah.
only
swim,
a
you'll be
time
right
zone.
there.
It's okay.
I'll get over there, no problem. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm a comic book artist, and I hail from the UK. I don't think I have the credits that so many of you wonderful people have, but I've been around
You're funny.
I've been around the block a bit, and
A little.
I've done a few bits and pieces, and now I'm drawing my own books, and but also getting offers from all kinds of different places. So I'm extremely busy at the moment.
Oh,
You can
there
find
you
out
go.
more about me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com, and onlydeathcansavers.com. And you can read the black and white version of The Horseman's Tales about war in the Revolt book, and you'll see the color version in book 2 of Only Death Can Save Us.
Excellent.
Sweet. Awesome.
I see Johnny.
Marv, I'm making you wait. I know you're sitting there on pins and needles.
Yeah, he is.
No,
That's true. He has
I'm
an
okay,
exciting
I'm
he has an
okay.
exciting
He's
thing
okay.
to say.
You're okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm okay. My wife just brought me a coffee because I've been sleeping very badly last few days. Especially yesterday was a hell of a day. Mike and Randy knows that.
I was going to say, what you have is an espresso. This is a coffee.
This is a cappuccino.
Yeah,
cappuccino.
This a couple of these will keep you awake for all night.
Yeah, you want to drink
this is,
coffee? Get yourself over to Portugal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll stay awake with 2 coffees all night.
We just lost Rich, just as I was going to have him come up. He'll be back, I'm sure.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Mike Jimmy, you have news?
Yeah. Live from Core 4. I received the last pages only last night from my colorist, and so this morning I put together the PDF, and we are off to the printer right now for proof prints. So in a couple of days I'll be able to show those off.
Sweet.
Great.
That's gonna be awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I saw them this morning. A couple of them. Yeah. Very nice.
Good. Glenn, any news?
Yeah, well, I was showing you before. This is Hatch #1. This is on Amazon right now. 32 pages of madness. And I'm just currently illustrating the second one, which is all hand-colored on the, with ink and stuff like that. I don't know when that's going to be out. It's going to be 48 pages hardback, hopefully. That'll be out soon.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. And I'm also just finishing off issue 7 of Comics Unlimited, which should be out in a few days. But just to show Russ, hand lettering, Russ. Real lettering.
Yeah, no, I'll be leaving that for the moment.
I agree too.
I'm super really impressed, mate. Super impressed.
I like my wrists. Thank you.
It's great. I love it. It's just a different discipline. It just gives you a chance to not be drawing daft cartoon characters and stuff like that.
If only I had the time. I don't know how you managed to fit your whole life in.
Well,
mate,
I don't
have the time.
I have about 2 hours sleep every night. I've told you.
There we go.
You should do it.
Rich, you're back on, Rich. It's all good.
Yeah, sorry. I received so someone was trying to contact me by phone, and it interrupted the signal. I apologize.
No, you're
Mark,
fine.
Mark, can you repeat what big news you have? I'm sorry that I wasn't here to hear it.
He didn't reveal it yet. Just that he was having a little cafecino, and he was like,
Cappuccino.
Yeah.
That's like CoffeeZilla. I'll shoot through the roof. If I have the amount of coffee that I have now, I probably vibrate through dimensions. But you know,
I've done that before. Garrett Toomey says ahoy. Stuart says hello. Good morning, Stuart. Glad
hello,
to see you
Stuart.
on board.
How are you?
Doing good. Critical Blast says now it's a proper Sunday. There we are.
Yeah,
Critical
exactly.
Blast is here.
Gives us a
John
thumbs
Dunn
up.
is here.
John Dunn's
Nicely
in the house.
done. Nicely done. Get it?
Russ is still in the house.
Hello.
Brian
So
Langley
cool to see
says
so
good
many
morning.
people.
Good morning.
Traders
morning.
Outlet says good morning all. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, Will.
Hey, Will.
What's up?
Hey.
What's up, big man?
Cameron says wealthy
Really?
people's food
Yeah,
deliveries
great.
has to be insane.
Yeah.
Back in our Walmart discussion, that's how far behind we are in the chat. But we'll skip that a little bit. Rival Turtle says good morning, guys. It's Rival Turtle here. Good morning, Chris.
Hello, Rival Turtle.
Brian K. Morris says
Brian K.
waving at all the wonderful Sunday Funnies people from Louisville.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having fun. He is at a show.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah,
Imaginarium, I believe he's over at in Louisville, Kentucky. I wish I'd have had the time to have run down there because it sounded like an awesome con.
Just being able to see
the Ninja
people in
says
person.
good morning. Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting a hug whether they want it or not.
By the way, thank you for backing the Ninja. Thank you for backing my campaign, man. I appreciate that truly. Thank you. I want to make sure that I thank everybody who has.
Oh yeah, Joe's in the house. It's all about spin and
Hey, Joe.
pitch, all
Hey, Joe.
ages.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
sell in local LOS, but does well at shows and vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, it's just but that's because people who go to shows, that's what they're looking for. Because you go to a comic book store and there's nothing there for them. So,
Sad.
if they even have a local comic book store to go to.
Yeah, that too. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's changing. So.
Yeah.
I am Perian Vole in the house.
Yay.
How you doing? It
Hey.
says I love Herb Trimp. He later said he kind of enjoyed the exercise of doing the extreme style.
Well, I mean,
Really?
because it's probably because
This probably being nice.
Well,
Yeah.
and also
Nice guy,
it's
wasn't
like when in the end it's like you're not doing it all the time, or at least feels like you're not being forced to. Then it's like sure, you can you try to imitate other people's style, and it's a good exercise. But when you got your bosses forcing you to do it, it's kind of a drag.
If you want to see a great example of Herb's work, and I will never forget this because Marvel for a while was kicking out a lot of black and white magazines, and they did one called Strange Adventures that had to do with almost like real life adventures. And there was a World War I story in there, biplanes and aviators, just the most beautiful artwork you've ever seen. And I'm sitting there marveling at this real stylized, just beautiful look. And I'm like, who in the world did this? This is amazing. And I went and got the credits, Herb Trimp. I'm like, holy crap, this guy is, it's amazing to see if you have the time, to work on something that you love, what it ends up looking like, because I was never really that fond of Trimp's work until I saw that story. And then I was able to go back through a lot of his Hulk work and go, oh, this looks like this because he's having to draw 22 pages in a month. Yes. Does that look like that? Because one, I'm sure he loves drawing planes, and two, he had some time to be able to work on the story, probably in his spare time. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. Fantastic work.
It's the same thing with Sid Shaw's as well. I never really cared for his inking too much when he was on Kirby on Captain America. Probably because I was in love with Joe Sinnott's work at the time. But later on, I saw some fantastic illustrations by Sid Shaw's. He's a great illustrator, and the same with Herb Trimp and Vince Coletta as well. Some of the work, and it was the other guy I don't like who inks Kirby. Just used to do the Avengers early on.
Tom Palmer?
I can't remember. No, I mean,
Tom
in the
Palmer,
60s.
Vince Coletta?
No, in the 60s.
Not Vince Coletta.
He used to pencil it. I can't remember his name, but anyway, when I saw his illustrative artwork, it was absolutely fantastic. But these people, I don't think, are sort of real comic artists, so to speak. They're artists, but not comic artists. You know what I mean? A bit like Barry Smith. He's a fantastic painter. he does good artwork and comics, of course he does. But I always think that people like Barry Smith are more illustrators than Neil Adams. To me, Neil Adams is a typical advertising agency illustrator. Having worked in that area. But he's a great comic book artist as well. But I don't. But like Jack Kirby is a comic book artist, you know. But how long has it since Herb Trimpe died? Is it about 4 years now? 5 years?
It's been a bit, yeah.
It's been a while. It just goes by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
This is what I was saying before. You just got to get on with it and stay up all night and do it. Don't worry about having to sleep. Just get on with it and sleep a long time when you're dead.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's how it is with me too. If I sleep more than 4 hours, I feel like if I don't get up before 4 o'clock in the morning and start doing anything, I feel like I wasted a day. You know, I feel like I wasted a day.
6 or 7 for me, but pretty much the same.
I've really gotten to believe in quality time, and that is to work at your sharpest. You get so much more work done.
Yes.
That there have been a lot of times that I've been trying to stay awake at the board, and it's just you just got to stop, go get some rest, and then hit it when you're, revitalized.
Right, exactly.
That happened to me.
Do twice as much work. Yeah.
That happened to me this week.
And it's difficult to shut yourself off when you're pressed on a deadline. But if you're tired, and you need to take that rest.
Oh yeah.
Because then you make it up twice as fast when you're alive and well awake.
That's very true.
I mean, there are days, there are nights that I actually go to sleep mad because I want to continue working, but I literally don't have the energy to do it.
Yeah. Like those first 2 to 4 hours you are awake, you get so much more done than if you spend those first 4 hours doing nothing and then spending 12 hours trying to draw.
So true.
It's all about finding your
that happened
rhythm,
with my last panel. My last panel was done like this, and in 2 hours I did that panel, and the rest behind it was just a torture because I wanted to draw, I wanted to finish the book, and then I was so tired, and I was just looking at the tablet, and I needed to rest, and it was a very difficult.
So Marv, so talk about that because that's your news, right? You finished the Sin Killer.
Well, wait, let's get Russ out of the way. Russ, do you have any news?
Yeah.
Let's get him out of the way.
I spoiled it.
Well, no, I don't. I don't. No.
You're getting offers from all over.
Yeah, I've got some offers.
All stuff you can't talk about.
I can't talk about it. No. So
and best work is under NDA.
It's kind of and it might not come off. It's one of those things where somebody comes and says, "Can you look at doing something? We're really interested in publishing X." And you work with them creatively, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be a book at the end of it. But it is kind of massive for me. But so yeah, I had that this week and the week before. But obviously, I finished out with Only Death Can Save Us. Had a great campaign. Picked up another 20 people in the last week.
Cool.
Awesome. So finished off with 271, I think.
Cool.
So yeah, pleased with that, and obviously still everything going great guns on Arrow. I sent issue 2, the artwork, over to Randy last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I can't really talk a lot, but yeah, it's all good. I did have we're talking about injuries. I picked up a hamstring injury at training this week.
Oh no!
But it's okay. A bit of ice, and I'll be back to kicking next week.
Is that like your first time back at training?
Oh no, I've been back for quite some time.
Okay.
Just I didn't stretch properly. It's my own fault.
Because I know your restrictions over there have been a little crazy off and on.
Yeah, I mean it has been weird. We got back. Well, I don't know, what is it? 2 months ago now, something like that. We got back to training. But we just can't. We can't contact. We can't fight. Officially.
Contact. Yeah.
Well, to clarify,
heaven forbid you should spread your sweat around. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, to clarify for a lot of our audience who maybe this might be the first episode, Russ's moniker, comic book black belt, is not hyperbole. You know, he's actually a black belt.
Yes. I'm just getting.
He draws kick-ass comics and can kick your ass at the same time.
I'm getting on a bit now, though, so I have to wait for the appropriate warm months of the year to kick head height. But yeah, I'm always dangerous. There you go.
Phil says Mike saved me some pizza.
Well, I'm sorry, but I ate it all, Phil.
It's done.
Breakfast of champions.
It was breakfast, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no other food you could do that with. Cold pizza. It's best when it's fresh. It's best when it's cold the next morning. It's just best.
Yeah.
Just best
it's
all the
the
time.
best when you're really hungover and you just eat something fat, but you don't want to bake an egg.
Yeah. No,
My
really.
favorite Sunday morning breakfast at cons, especially in Chicago. You order that pepperoni pie from Giordano's, and it's good to go the next day. You can only have a slice at a time, and then it's not really pie as much as cake. It's pizza cake.
It's pizza cake.
Yeah,
layer upon layer upon layer with the sauce on top. Just amazing, and everything coagulates overnight to a fantastic texture.
Perfect congealed.
Perfect congealed. Yeah. Would always be what we'd look forward to on Sunday morning at the show. Make sure you save a couple pieces.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to need a piece before I go to the
typical
show. Yeah.
American food atrocity.
Just keep it in the box. It's all good. Yeah.
Aren't there some great words in the English language like coagulate?
Yeah,
exactly. Fantastic words. You know, what the hell does that mean? Coagulate.
Coagulate. Now joining our stream is Mr. John Celestri.
Hey,
John.
Hey.
Hi. Welcome back to Sunday Fun.
Injury time.
Yeah.
Another injury.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, how's your hand, man?
Oh, well, I'm still drawing with this hair. I'm doing exercises, and I've got the big, the sleeping wrist that looks like a club. I'm doing that. And so over the last 6 weeks, it's been going, it's been developing, and I'm back to doing my thumbnails and my full pages, like there I am.
There we go.
Wait a minute. Got to blow that up here.
Scribble. You see that there?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I could do that much. I've got about 8 pages or so, or 3 pages left to thumbnail for the next book. So that's it keeps moving forward.
Now, John, it's been a while since you were here on Sunday Funny, so please introduce yourself to the radio audience.
Okay, well, I'm John Celestri. I've been a classic animator and comic book artist since the mid-'70s, about 1974, 75. I animated the initial appearance of Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special. I've animated a Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, He-Man, She-Ra, Rock and Rule. I've done Batman. I've a load of various things that you might have played with, and watched as a kid. So, but I'm still doing my own stuff. I'm doing my own comic books. I have been doing them for the last number of years. I've got a couple of series. I've got, Snuffy and Zoe's Toy Box Adventures. It's Nicky Nartz and Mega Moose, those are 2 old, all ages. And I have my more mature books, which is the Bloodwing Angel Chronicles. And so that's my package. I'm still bringing it. I'm doing everything that I wanted to do. I'm putting into these books.
Yeah.
So I don't have a bean counter, looking over my shoulder and telling me, no, you can't do this. I have audiences that say, I'm not interested in it, but that's different.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Actually, we were just talking at the beginning of the show about because I didn't think it was that bad, that it's like that the term all ages has a kind of like a negative connotation to it in terms of. Do you notice a difference? Like, I mean, I don't know if when was the last time you were at a convention or something, because I usually notice a difference at conventions than at shops.
Okay.
Where it's like, people at conventions are always looking for adult, for all ages stuff. But like you go to comic book shops, they're like, oh, like that stuff doesn't sell.
Yeah, well, those are two different things. I mean, people who go to conventions are either you've got the hardcore people who really want to play and they want to do their costumes, they want to do the cosplay, and then there are parents who said, "Oh, a comic book convention, I'll bring my kid," and and they're the ones who are looking for the all ages, and then they'll look at them and say, "Oh, is this okay or whatnot?" And there's going to be, I think what grabs attention for all ages is that the people keep remembering what it was, maybe 30 years ago, that there was a wide variety, and so they're bringing their kids to the conventions and saying, "Okay, let's see what we can find for you," and I don't know. The last time I was at a convention was maybe about 4 years ago here in Lexington. It has a Lexington comic and art, a toy convention. And it was packed. I mean, they had, I think for the week, they had maybe about 25,000 people, come through.
Yeah.
And it's a major thing. Randy, you probably know about that in Lexington. It may be about, in March or April of the year, in the past years, they've had this.
Yeah, there are shows all over the state.
Right.
I don't remember ever attending one in Lexington. That doesn't mean that I never did.
Right.
It just means I don't remember it.
I think it's about 10 years. It's been going for about 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's packed. I mean, it totally is a hot zone of disease. I mean, no, literally, because everything is packed. People are just shoulder to shoulder. It is like an old-fashioned, streets of New York City in the, when there is no traffic cops around, and they're all coming back and forth. That's what it is. But basically, my thing is that it's more of a toy convention.
Yeah.
And my experience is that anything that has to do with comics are the offshoots. It's the movies, it's the people who are playing actors and whatnot. You do have the artist row where you have your people to do their conventions, rather their autographs and whatnot. Steranko is there, and so on and so forth. But I think there is a place just for local artists that they put for in Lexington, but you really need to, you're paying for it and you're bringing your material, but it's not just an artist thing. There's so much of toys. It's, back issues, but it's also a lot of it's toys and memorabilia and things of that sort. That's the draw, that we're getting. So, but in terms of all ages, I don't think there's enough all ages to make a difference to really, get kids, as a regular readers, material wise.
Well, I think you're seeing again that's another reason why the manga anime books have spiked the way that they have, because there's a lot of that material that would be considered to be all ages.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
and yet they don't advertise it as that. It's just manga.
It's a hill I'll die on. To be honest, that's the one. That's the line in sand for me. All ages, but also kid. I'll go for kids' books as well because large corporations seem to want to divvy everybody up into little groups, so they do kids' books. Okay, but kids' books where you do not talk down to the kids, which I have been involved with. Which I have been involved with Doctor Who, and maybe involved with again soon if I'm fortunate. for that kind of book. But certainly my own books are available. That it's a book that you can entertain anybody with.
Yeah.
If a kid picks it up, it's totally safe, and you're challenging their vocabulary and making them think.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like about Calico, the same thing with Calico.
Yeah.
With that, it doesn't talk down to anybody. It doesn't condescend, but it's still a good story. It's a comprehensible story for everyone to enjoy.
So all ages. I mean, it's just that it's my thing. That's I'm Randy's absolutely right. It has had a bad riff, and it shouldn't, because that's where your next generation is. Because if you just have kids books, then when adults pick them up, because you're pigeonholing everything, then a kid's book won't speak to an adult. But if you make all ages books, then families can enjoy books together. People, dads and kids, mums and daughters, whatever, and that's important.
But I think there's a difference between what is considered all ages in Europe and different from North America.
Yeah,
now,
different connotation altogether.
I think we had a conversation about how Michael, the Bloodwood Angel, would play in Europe, and
it would be a no-brainer.
Would be like even the little boobies and whatnot. That it's all ages. But here it's like I had to. Indiegogo told me I need. This was after the campaign was completed.
I think that's grimy. That they waited until after your campaign to tell you that your thing was inappropriate, so they held on to your money, as opposed to telling you that in the beginning. Going, can you just fix your campaign a bit?
Yeah. Well, but the thing about it is that with Kickstarter, I had no problems whatsoever. It's the same imagery,
that's weird.
Same things.
That is really unusual. Yeah.
And I was surprised about that.
Yeah.
I thought that Indiegogo would be less gatekeeper than anything else. But once again, I mean, I've still got it. I've got it in demand. I'll be doing that because there's people have are that's the place that I can at least keep it going. Because what I've seen is that unless you have a place like Indiegogo, people don't trust that you're going to deliver. That's the thing, and that's why I'm not going to do anything, have my own website to sell anything, because people won't trust me.
Well, they will, but it depends on how much you offer on it.
Yeah, it takes a while for folks to get to know you and to trust your site.
I know, but you know what? Here's the thing: is that it takes 4 or 5 years, to build up that thing. I'm going to be 72 this year. I don't want to spend that time. I would rather draw and focus on that than have to deal with a business thing, because I'm not in the business of being business. I want to be an artist who sells his work and is doing stuff that that I believe in. So but anyway, that I found it interesting that what you do could be totally appropriate throughout the rest of the world. Yet North America, which is the biggest market, at least for my access, because of it takes $35 to ship a book overseas. And so they are so
it's like I went through this whole thing just recently, where I finally made a decision to make Eagle Raven a mature reader's book. And I agonized over that, because it's like I wasn't sure like what the line was to be crossed, or what line could be crossed, or what line couldn't be crossed, and whatnot. And the thing is, though, all my European, but if I was in Europe, I wouldn't even be thinking about this.
You'd be fine.
It's like I wouldn't even be thinking about this. But here, it's like I had to waste brain power, kind of wondering, oh crap, it's like it's like how are the how are like the uptight moms gonna think about this? It's like
Puritans, man, they ruined everything.
Because it's like I was a precocious reader. So I was reading stuff that a lot of people would consider to be, inappropriate or something, but I was reading. You know, so I was kind of basing it on that, and also, like I said, European comics. All my European comics that I have here, they don't have warnings on them.
Right.
No.
You know,
No.
none of them. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I keep talking about like JD bought a Milo Manaro book that didn't have a warning on it. Not a one. You know, so it's like I'm sitting here going, oh my God, if I show a titty, do I have to be, mature readers here? And it's like, and in the end, I made the decision. It's like, you know what? If it means that I narrow, it's like I lose parts of my audience. Ooh, that is so nice.
Okay.
Ooh.
Right.
That's French, and that's from 1986. And this is the cover. So an amputated guy, blonde, showing her boob, and this is from Mr. Mag, and this is a great book, and this is the cover. So it doesn't say anything about being an adult comic.
Right, exactly. So it's like, so I decided that it's like, you know what, better. I'm only up to the second issue. Better I weed out my audience now with that mature readers label than end up with a big surprise later.
And sadly, it goes for the perception of what sequential art or comics are here in the States compared to over anywhere else, pretty much. Everywhere else, it's all an art form. And it's looked at as art. That's why you don't have a warning label on Manara, is because it's art.
Right.
And art sometimes includes the female or the male all undressed.
And it's like, and not for nothing too, a lot of the idea of that here too, which is something that I really had to come face to face with, is that all I'm asking, I wouldn't have this issue if I could trust parents to look over the stuff first.
That's what I was going to say, and I hate to say this.
Curate your kids' entertainment so that I don't have to be put in this position. But most people will just, this has a horse on the cover. Let me just give it to them, and that's how we ended up watching Watership Down and Plague Dog at 6, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, that's what I said. The rating system's kind of for lazy parenting, honestly.
Yeah,
it's for people who just want to hand off something and not know what their kids are doing. Is I trust the rating system to tell me what I should give my child.
Well, and a lot of times they don't even follow that, because when I was teaching school, I can't tell you how many kids were into Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite. Just really seriously? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I had one elementary school kid turn me on to Rick and Morty.
Right. Yeah.
He said, "You have to sit down. Oh, this is incredible." And I sat down and watched it. And I went, "What parent is letting their elementary
exactly.
school?"
Oh, but it's a cartoon.
It was incredible. It was incredible. It was really inventive, but not. It was anything I'd let my elementary school kids sit down.
Unfortunately, it shows a widespread public ignorance of art in general. But also a lack of personal responsibility.
Well, let me ask this
only this morning I was at my granddaughter's birthday party this morning, and the television was on, because the kids always have the television on the background, and I was just looking at this thing, and it was an American program. I don't know what it was called, but it was these kids, probably about 14, 15. Behaving like 4-year-olds, and what they were doing was showing the children how to cheat about getting food into classrooms and eating while the teacher was there. And they were making pencils out of jelly and pretending they were pencils and biting them. And this went on. I was watching this thing and I thought, what the hell is this? And it's just like indoctrination, really. Just show it. And it was like it had. Then there was a little story for 10 minutes about. It was called Rich Student, Poor Student, and the rich student was a girl, and she woke up and her hair was a mess, so she got the top hairdresser in to do it, and she looked great. And then it went poor student, and that girl had to use toilet roll cardboard bits, to put curls in her. And I thought, what is this? What is this telling children? It's just this is on the television. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
UK television is dire.
Yeah, I think it was on Virgin. I don't watch. I don't have Virgin.
Also, it sounds like such an exaggeration too, where it's like, really, it's like, it's not even a hack. It's like, look at how gross the pores are.
It's kids TV. It's kids TV.
Well, it's all over though.
The point I'm making is that Randy said about the parental guidance thing. Well, I wouldn't have. I turned it off. I wouldn't have let my kids watch that.
Right.
They're not.
on the other hand, I've got granddaughters that one that stays here pretty often over the weekend, and the stuff that she watches off of YouTube is exactly the opposite. It's the most brain dead material I've ever seen.
Oh,
in my life. And I'm like, you do not hear. Let me show you a movie by Ghibli Studios here.
Right,
It's a large
exactly.
cat that turns into a bus. This is imaginative.
Right,
And she's hooked on Ryan, who all he is a toy tester. His whole family are toy testers for the bigger companies. I want this Play-Doh.
It was that little shit who triggered the whole Copa thing, by the way. Because what it was that a lot of his videos were sponsored, and they were not, and they were not, that they were not announcing it that they were sponsored. So technically, it was secret advertising towards children.
The minute you watch the video, though, you know that it was advertising because they shipped him the damn toy.
Right.
Well, on this program this morning, they were showing you how, and it had a packet of M&Ms, and it was showing you how. And she said, "Get a packet of M&Ms, and then put them in your bag and do all this." And then they were doing what do they call those? Crisps in a tube. To get Pringles, yeah, that kind of thing. And it was you could see
those newfangled things.
Yeah, you could see the box and the logo and everything, and they were showing you how to do it. So it was just one big advertisement for sweets or toffees or candy or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it was just amazing. It was incredible, but it should be banned. It shouldn't be shown. It's just awful.
Yeah,
and I'm not one for.
Well, it's kind of like pharmaceutical advertising on television. That should not be there.
No,
that's right.
But it is fun though. It is fun to watch the drugs on television, because every time they come up with a new name, I turn to the wife and tell them what that character is in regards to comics.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Now, there's a female character named Laputa out there somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's technically a Ghibli
every time
film.
There's a new drug, there's something new. Well, that's the uncle to so and so who does this. That's part of the fun, and then we listen to all of the warnings.
Right.
Yeah, the warnings about 20 seconds out of the 30 seconds worth of stuff. It's the warnings of what can happen to you.
Yeah. And extreme cases may cause death.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But we want you to self-diagnose. But please self-diagnose and demand this from your doctor.
May cause you to bleed from the eyes and ears. May cause you to bleed from your. It's like what?
May cause chronic liver damage.
Yeah. Do you really want to take this?
Yeah. Well, that was the number one thing that like made me just jaw drop when I was in San Diego in 2017, because we were at a burger place. For some reason, every restaurant has bloody television. Why?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
We're all hooked on the screen. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like I saw one of those advertisements come by. I think it was for something against period pains or something like that. I don't really care, And it was like, this is what it helps for. And then it's kind of going on and on and on and on things that would make it completely illegal over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell do you allow this on television?
And we pride ourselves on our FDA standards, our Food and Drug Administration standards.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we get all the crazy drugs, and then 6 months later, you get all of the lawyers doing their commercials. Were you a taker of such and such drug? You may have reason to.
Right. Yeah.
There may be a cash settlement coming your way. We want to talk to you. That kind of thing.
Don't forget the drug you got to take to offset all the side effects of that drug.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that too. Yep. Yep.
But to bring it back to comics, though, it's the fact that the fact that there's here it's like we have to worry about the absolute lack of parental guidance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That forces us to think about things about our books that we shouldn't have to. We should just be able to tell our stories the way we want. But instead, here we are wasting brain power on, well, what if? What if?
Yep.
Well, I was reading something, they were showing you the adult jokes in kids' cartoons.
Yeah.
You didn't get when you were a kid. And Ghostbusters, there's a BJ in Ghostbusters. I didn't remember there being a BJ in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
I didn't catch it.
That
went
was
over
the
my
floating
head.
ghost. That was the floating ghost. Yeah, no, I remember that. No, I must have been a teenager or something.
Yeah,
Look, I was like 10 or 11 when I memorized the Inquisition song from Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1. Had no idea what I was saying.
Right.
And it's like, and only later that I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a completely different movie.
Well, yeah, and then they turned around and they made cartoons out of it. Look at Beetlejuice. I mean, you got Michael Keaton. Fuck you, and the Beetlejuice cartoon was great.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in, some of you won't remember directly, but back in 1968, I think it was, when Stan Lee did that Spider-Man story about the drugs that the Comics Code wouldn't put the label on. You'll remember that, Randy.
Yeah.
I think it was Gil Kane drew it, wasn't it?
Yes.
I remember buying that, and it didn't make me want to go and take drugs and stuff like that. It just showed me what an idiot people were for taking them. So I just wanted to look at Gil Kane's artwork, So I'm not quite sure what the problem is.
Well, that's why they went through and printed it without the code stamp on it. It's because they knew they were getting a message across, and that's why they were going to print it regardless.
But it's like when people say violent films influence people to go and kill people. Well,
No, absolutely not.
Well, my argument is this: how many films was Genghis Khan watching before he trashed the world?
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
Netflix, come on.
You know what Caligula's problem was? He watched too much hentai. That's what Caligula's problem was.
That all shipped in. Yeah. Let's try that next time we're together. Yeah.
Well, there's an aspect to things where people are worried that you might trigger something, because they all understand that people are wired a certain way, and they don't want any triggering.
Well, you see, but that's the thing too. It's like, because it's like, I respect people's wanting to avoid topics that they're sensitive to, but at the same time, they're the ones with that problem. Right. So they're the ones that have to look out for it. Right. They shouldn't be looking at me going, you triggered me. I don't know. You bought it without really paying attention as to what it was.
I think if anybody's going to go out and mass murder or do something nasty, even if a film or a video game or a comic or rock music, good Lord, might have actually, evil rock and roll. If any of that stuff triggered them to do it, it's only a matter of time. They'd have been triggered by something. You can't go around demonizing art, pop culture, because a few people are off their rockers.
Right.
There'd be an entire generation flattened by anvils by now.
I mean, it's like, look, Charles Manson got Helter Skelter from the Beatles, but he was doing that anyway. It's like, it just gave him a convenient.
I knew a girl who was a Mormon, and she came round to my apartment one day, and the radio was on and Queen were on, and she said, you shouldn't listen to this. And I said, why? It's brilliant. It was Bohemian Rhapsody or something that Queen do it, and it's fantastic. And I said, why? And she said, because if you play it backwards, in the middle of it says, kill God or we love the devil or something like that.
And what are you doing just playing it backwards?
Exactly. She said to me, don't you think that's disturbing that it would do that? And I said, no, what's disturbing is that somebody's sitting up in their bedroom at 4:00 in the morning playing records backwards. That's what disturbs me.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big difference. There's a big difference between protecting people from corporations that might harm them physically because they're putting stuff into your food or regulations where it might affect your life and health and whatnot. But thought is a completely different thing. It's the idea of saying, I have my thought, this is what it is. If you don't like it, okay. But people don't want that. I mean, we have the best. I mean, let's put it this way: I was raised Roman Catholic, and I went through Jesuit.
We know about guilt.
I know all about that stuff. But the whole idea is the ability to say, "Okay, I don't agree with you. Go." But if your thought creates a harm for me, then that's illegal, because what you're doing is there's a difference between rabble rousing and just saying there's a reason I want you to do this, and so on and so forth.
That's where critical thinking skills come in.
Yes.
Because you can't stop all these different there are things that I learn about every day that I wish I never knew about. But then it's like I have to use my critical thinking skills to kind of like put it into perspective and context and put it where it needs to go in my brain. But I mean, there are people, I mean, it really is funny how it's like that there really is a movement now, people who really want to infantilize themselves. And they want everybody else to nerf everything for them for their sake. It's like, oh, I didn't consent to this to this information. It's like, honey, that's not how it works. How do you survive going outside? There's plenty of things I see and experience outside that I definitely did not consent to.
Well, you do have to have critical but the problem is that we've been so, the culture and the way the attention span and the inability to understand a sentence that's more than 5 or 7 words. It really is what is controlling the actual population, because people want to be done. I mean, this is idiocracy. This is idiocracy.
Sorry to cut the conversation short, but we've been torturing Marv long enough.
Yeah, I was about to suggest
I was giving him the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm still nervous as hell.
I know you are. You're sitting there just waiting. Yeah. Marvy, tell people what's up. You have the floor.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I'm the creator.
Thanks for your patience.
No, I'm okay. I'm just, this is my first comic. This is my first campaign, so I'm very stressed right now. And I finally done the Sin Killer after almost 2 years. And it's been a while.
Bada bang,
Thank you. Thank you. And it's been crazy this past 2 years. The pandemic helped me a lot. Thanks to the pandemic, I was able to meet wonderful people, everybody from Indie Vault and Geek Insider and Meredith Nina and everybody associated to Indie Vault family, Varian and Randy gave me so much this past year that
that looks good.
We got it. Everybody's gonna get it next week. So hey.
So how did it feel? How did it feel when you drew that last line and you realized, oh crap, I'm finished.
I'm done.
How did it feel? How did it feel?
I said to my wife, I think I'm gonna make another page. Yeah. And my wife said, no, don't do it. No, you'll never finish the book. So I just done. Cut I'm done. So I'm working now on the second one with it's gonna be only with Michael and Gabriel. The John Sin Killer will be just a little bit showing off, just a small cameo, but this time it will be the story of Michael the dog and Gabriel the Raven, who lives with John. It's gonna be very different because I've learned so much with my mistakes. I still have a problem of not mixing colors on layers, the red layer will have the red and whatever, because I've been almost my life a traditional artist, and now I'm having so much fun. I was a purist. I didn't want to go to digital, but then I've tried it, and this is another world. I draw faster. I can ink without screwing around, without wasting time. So this is a great tool, and I'm very thankful for the people that helped me to get the tablet.
You're gonna miss the ink on the finger.
Sorry.
Yeah, digging under your nails, trying to get it. You're miss that.
Sometimes, and the texture of
the smudges, the knocking into the oil, the ink bottle all over the page.
Getting the color on the side.
Yeah.
What?
No, I swear to God, Glenn, that needs to be like a vinyl toy or a figurine or something. I would still have that little hatch guy. yeah, I could put them over here with my serial
Well,
killers.
listen. My wife Helen is a ceramic artist, so I keep telling her she's got to make me some ceramic hatches for Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. 12 inches high or 6 inches or whatever.
Well, the smaller the better, because then I can fit them. I can fit them, better on the shelf.
Have space up there right next to the HeroBot Zero dolls that are coming.
Yes, exactly. We need those too. Yes.
And that calico down.
Yeah.
I'll tell her.
Toys for everybody. Everybody make toys.
Toys for everybody. Yeah.
I'll tell her Daphne has spoken.
Exactly.
She wants a ceramic hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
But tell everybody the news, Marv. We know
I'm gonna launch it right now. I'm gonna.
You're sitting there with your finger right over that button, going, "When can I push it?"
I'm going to do that, and I want to say thank you to Mac Jimmy for helping me yesterday.
Anytime, that.
He taught me a lot. He just remade the campaign. He had a couple of things there, and man, I deeply appreciate it. And let's make the countdown.
Once it's posted, Russ will look at it and give you about 4 or 5 awesome pointers.
Yeah,
that's what he did for the Revolt campaign.
Whether you ask me or not.
So I
might not know it yet.
Now this is the sin. This is this. Oh, there we go.
6, 5,
Oh,
4.
We have an actual countdown.
2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Oh yeah, launching.
We have a liftoff. 30
There we go.
did we just do did we do an unofficial launch? We did a launch party right now?
We did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the link?
Yeah.
For
everybody
I'm getting my backer number 1.
I don't know how this works. So
we have liftoff.
Link. Okay, we need a link in the chat.
Need a link in the chat. That's over on Indiegogo, right, Marv? Go ahead.
Indiegogo. The
backer number 1. Yes.
Yes. So you'll get this.
There we go. I shared
backer number 1 will get.
Sweet.
Awesome.
You'll get this one. Backer number 1 will have this original piece. Backer 25 will have another. Backer 50, 75, and 100. If I made it to 100, there will be also a.
Can we pull the campaign up?
Yeah.
Right there. There it is.
Yeah, pull the campaign up.
You want me to share it?
If somebody can.
Yeah. Somebody share it.
You have one backer,
and I can't.
You have one
Thank
backer,
so
but
much.
that backer was cheap. Didn't give you any money.
Oh, is that
No. It just needs to update. Trust me, I bought the book.
It just takes a second to recycle through that.
Does Indy? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, French
Salud.
champagne. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on the show and to be a part of this.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and doing that with us. That's the Sin Killer Revelation for all of our radio audience out there. It's Marv's first book, available now on Indiegogo.
Right,
Just
and
kicked up.
and he has a 700. Why 713? That's such an odd number.
Oh no,
It's in
euros.
It's in euro.
Oh, okay, it's in euro. All right.
Yeah.
It's in funny
around
money.
600.
Okay.
It's like $600.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Tell us about the book, Marv.
Well,
You could read about the book in Comics Limited number
the trailer
6.
there too.
John's short story. John was the only survivor of an ambush after a mission in Vietnam. When he was about to be executed, he unleashed the power he had all his life for the first time as an adult. Brought back to life his fallen brothers, and they wanted revenge. Book will be shipping from within the United States and the European Union.
Oh, that's good. That's good because then it's like so if we buy in the United States, we'll get United States shipping.
Yes.
As opposed to okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Creative.
I talked to RJ. I talked to RJ from Critical Blast.
Critical Blast.
And,
yeah.
I will make the deal with him. So
sweet.
Yeah, he will use Gemini mailers. and it will be properly shipped, and the people will have very nice quality that Gemini mailers always give to their customers. So yeah, I'm very happy for that. Very happy. And as Mike Jimmy told me about RJ, I talked to him, and I really loved the way that he talked about the stuff. And this is it's gonna be with him. And I'm so happy for finally. Yeah, and I'm very happy for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
So when you finished, so did you like sleep off the end of finishing this? I mean, did you like had to go lie down or something when you were
I had problems yesterday because I wanted to launch earlier, but for some reason Indiegogo wasn't accepting was doing the approval. So it was very hard to be able to make an approval because the driver license and the citizen card Portuguese don't have the address. It was very difficult. I had to send them a letter from the government with everything there, So but finally,
I know you were having a hard time with it. Yeah.
You might want to share the link in the main chat, Randy.
Yeah.
So people can get it all over.
I think I can do that.
Yeah, please. I'm on my tablet and I still don't know how to do a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
There we go. It's in the chat now.
I'm number two.
Probably multiple times.
Thank you.
Yeah, the link to Singular.
Thank you, boys. Thank you so much.
We're gonna run that video.
Yeah, this short one. Very short. Very short.
Kaboom. Fantastic.
That's brilliant, Marv.
Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. It's always, it's like, especially when you've worked on it for as long as you have, to just finally have it out there. Yeah.
Super
it's
proud
exhausting.
of
you, man. Marv, you worked on it for about what, 2 years?
Marv, are you there?
Marv?
Yeah, he has a lag.
Yeah, and,
so.
and the problem was that I wasn't able to have a tablet, so that was a major problem. Because after I had the tablet, that was fast to link and do the colors. 2 years because I didn't have a tablet at the time. Tablet from
keep going.
Oh,
it's all good.
Are you listening now?
Yeah.
We can hear you just fine. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't have a tablet. I started everything traditionally, and when I was about to link the scene killer, the first thank you, the first pages. I had a. Okay. So my internet is a little bit weird today. So I had a tablet, the Samsung, a few years ago. So when I was about to start thinking the few pages that I have done back then, it died. And then I continued to do that traditionally. And then when Randy invited me to do to be on the Indie Vault Revolt book, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it because I didn't have the means to make to finish the story. So a buddy of mine who did the logos for the Sim Killer, Ricardo Ferreira, is a graphic designer. He made me an offer saying, you're very passionate about this. I like the story and everything, and I will help you out to finish the 8-page story. So thanks to him, I was able to be on the Voting book. And after a crowdfunding campaign that the guys at my day job did, and some of the fellow creators also helped me out. I have a iPad Pro, and I was able to finish the Sim Killer thanks to everybody. And that I've been so blessed. And finally, I'm able to say that I'm a comic book creator, and I have now done my first job. And fortunately, I feel that that energy to continue making comics. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for helping me out. And from now on, it's gonna be crazy. So
yeah, now
that's true.
Promote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you got that itch, it doesn't end.
No, it doesn't. And that's the Sin Killer Revelation, available on Indiegogo now. Just started today.
Yeah,
35 days left to go, with a $713 flexible goal. It's already at 8%. With just two.
Let's get this guy to 100. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Are you still listening?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
Good. We're good, Marv.
Oops.
It's a very straightforward campaign. You have a PDF offered, a regular book offered, and a retailer tier. Everything's estimated to ship in September.
And again, to reiterate, any orders in the United States, it gets shipped in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's very important to really stress, because a lot of people, they'll see they'll see, oh, it's coming from Portugal or something, and they might not. But no, it's in the United States, you get United States shipping, so that's important.
And within the European Union too. So yeah, we're like I think I put it on 12 euros for within the European Union. I helped Marv putting the campaign together a bit.
Thank you.
And I told him, like, hey, don't worry if you suddenly need extra money for shipping or anything. We'll take care of that too.
I'll be very happy. Yeah, thanks.
It's a Sin Killer Revelation. Over on Indiegogo right now. Just started. Thanks so much, Marv, for kicking it off here.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great watching you do pages over the last couple of years working on this book.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed like, like you were always working on it, and it's like, and now it's like it's finally a book.
It's a book.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. Like, awesome stuff. Congratulations. And we're super proud of you, like all of us.
Uh-huh.
Yes, very much so. Wish you only the best on it. We'll be keeping an eye on the campaign as we go along here in Indie Vault. You're welcome to come back on, and we'll promote the heck out of this for you and get that going.
We're gonna get you on some shows. Join me tonight, Marv. Join me tonight on Aria Black show.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, because it's gonna be an open mic anyway, and we're gonna promote the hell out of this.
Rich Perota, who was on earlier, wishes that he could have stayed on, but he had to take off.
Oh, that's
so
true. Yeah.
We also want to point out
that's crazy. Yeah,
his book Incantessi is his book Incantessi is also on crowd. Is it on?
But we just lost Marv too.
Oh no.
The Incantessi is on Kickstarter.
Okay, so the Incantessi is on Kickstarter. Yes.
Let me pull that up here real quick. I promised him that we would show that campaign off.
So there it is.
Incantessi chapter 2, and we saw Rich working on a page from that. this morning here. On
Look,
the
looks
show.
lovely. Rich, if you're listening, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It looks like a real fun book. Captain Caveman.
Oh,
Anyway.
I worked on him.
Did you? I don't know. I didn't know you spent some time with Hanna-Barbera.
That was freelancing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, we would do it with freelancing, and we also did, what was it? There were so many back in the 70s. You know, we even did freelancing out of Toronto. You know, you get packed. You know, if FedEx, there was a lot of FedExing across the border.
Well, nowadays it'll all be online.
Yeah.
Just throw it up there and send it.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually faxed those Batman commercials using. I would draw it, and this is 1987, so I would fax the drawings to Toronto from Rhode Island.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. They'd clean up the drawings there. I mean, but you fax it. It took about 2 minutes each fax, but I had the best fax machine. You know, it was like it was a huge thing, you know, and it cost me about $1,500.
Yeah.
But it took oversized drawings. So in fact, I was able to give them, like 600 dots per inch or what have you, and that was enough for them to be able to go and clean up the artwork. But that was all drawn and faxed.
Wow. Wow. I mean, nowadays you wouldn't be able to even imagine that.
Yeah.
I know.
It's all like Dropbox.
Time, Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
How did the will survive past last week?
There you go.
Or before last week, I should say.
I think they still use faxes in Japan.
Yeah, they're big. Yeah, because of privacy.
Really?
Because it's like,
But
you can't hack into a fax machine.
Not just that, but they will use technologies that work.
Right.
So they don't have although they're very much about, Asia is very much about getting the next big thing and making new technology. They're selling it to the rest of the world, and they actually own. They tend to have this philosophy of using things that work.
Yeah.
So faxes work for lots of different things. So they
Yeah.
keep using faxes.
Yeah.
I think they might. I think a lot of companies also stay on XP because it worked.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And nothing did afterwards.
Yeah, there was a lot of tourism videos that I would watch about like going to Japan, going to Tokyo, and they all said the same thing, that it's like, you would think that you'd go there and it's kind of like this technology mecca, and it's like, look, you're lucky if you find Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's like, they're saying it's a little bit rougher technology wise than you would think.
I can't tell you here. I can't tell you here, but I know a really good joke about a fax machine.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
I'll tell you what.
Remember,
I'll tell
we're
you
still
on
on YouTube.
I'll
We're
tell you
gonna
on a private
get,
message. I'll send you all a private message. It's really funny.
If we were monetized, we would be demonetized because of a dirty fax machine joke.
Not that we're monetized in the first place.
Bloody Glenn and his dirty jokes
about fax machines.
We don't want this stream to end up only available on the Indie Volt Roku channel.
Yeah. So Incantessi has 14 days to go. It's almost at its goal.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's 2,891 pledged of the 3,400 he needs to print.
Right.
There's only 14 days left to go. There's 60 backers. The descent of one begets the ascension of another.
Right.
Yes.
Incantessi chapter 2.
Yeah.
That sounded deep.
It'll make its goal. It'll definitely.
Oh yeah, no, we even got a project we love on this.
Yeah.
And this is over on Kickstarter. Kickstarter is now active until July 22nd. So we're gonna run we probably can't run the video. Actually, I'm gonna have to stop and reshare this.
Oh yeah, it's they don't make it obvious, that whole share sound thing.
Well, you got to click the right box. So 9 times out of 10, never been one to click the right box.
Can't relate.
There we go. We're gonna run the video now for Incantessi. Should have a narrator on it.
Yeah.
Especially for our radio audience. Great artwork here. It's fantastic stuff.
Just FYI, The Incantation 1 was one of my favorite books of 2020 so far. And I'm pretty sure this is going to exceed it. Wow.
Incantation Chapter 2.
Wow.
Guys,
Project is at
seriously,
83% of the goal.
Let's get into 100.
That Captain Caveman is so
many.
random.
Yeah.
Live stream art show. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it does a lot
there's
of those.
There's a hardcover copy available, a paperback copy, a 4-size Chapter 2 black and white copy. That artwork looks phenomenal in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Chapters 1 and 2 paperback. Chapters 1 and 2 hardcover. A 4 commission and paperback copy. A 4 commission and hardcover copy. A 4 tabloid commission drawing. 10 copies, 5 of each. Chapter 1. Also 10 copies, 5 of each of Chapter 2. Original art, page 5. The bunch of original art still available. Go in there and back it now. That all helps Rich and his printing costs to get this book to you. So it's $2,891 out of $3,400 goal. And again, Rich is over in England, so that figure is set in US dollars.
So just FYI, and Rich is doing the same thing as Marv and I. Welcome to RJ. And it's super cheap to ship it within the European Union and to the US.
Uh-huh.
So don't worry about it. Like it's I think it's still like $10, maybe 12. So yeah, guys, this is definitely a book you want to pick up.
Yeah, I always said there was a cottage industry there for somebody on both sides of the Atlantic to be able to publish and print out of there. So that's a great idea. RJ should be thanked for that. That's a good service.
Yeah.
So Phil Leon says, "Oh yeah, Incantation rocks."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Marv is enjoying a cigar for all of our radio audience out there. I'm a little surprised Varian hasn't popped in just yet.
Oh yeah.
Tell us our radio numbers.
Backer shots last night. He's probably
there was a backer shot last night. He is probably
he's doing
sleeping
princess care today, depending on how it went last night.
He?
Oh, usually he says that's
watch it all the way through. Oh, we were chatting for quite a while afterwards, though.
Ah, okay.
Major.
So then he's probably just sleeping in.
Little debating about whether or not we needed to do another episode of special issues for the surrounding continuum.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, there's a part 2.
There's a part 2, part
3, part 4.
If you haven't seen the first episode, the first episode was 3 hours and 48 minutes long, and people were really complaining. But we stopped at the dissolving of Terraform, and we didn't go on from there. Meredith and Nita were associated with Continuum for a few months after that, and it just got worse.
Yes.
So there have been other things, and there was also a lot of other things. Like I said at the end of the episode, we literally glossed over a bunch of things that we probably should have brought up. Little incidences and jabs and tomfoolery that went on that was inexcusable, that people really do need to know about. But basically we summed it up at the end, to always double check, make sure you communicate with everybody. Now, the grapevine stuff is where all the schoolyard drama comes from. Hey, so-and-so doesn't do this, or so-and-so thinks this and this of you. That BS has to stop. We're going to have to, whenever that problem comes up, you're going to have to confront the person specifically, keep the drama to a minimum, especially considering we're in a growing industry and it's just going to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as we get bigger, we have to put on the big boy pants and be adults.
We have to be bigger. Yes,
we have to be bigger. Yep, absolutely.
Murphy looks like he's ready to kick some ass and chew bubble gum, and he's all out of gum.
He's probably about ready to collapse. He's been up the last couple of days freaking about starting the campaign.
It's like, look, in all serious though, don't check every 10 minutes your campaign. Just check it once a day and let it run.
That way lies madness. You'll sit there and hit the refresh button every 5 seconds. Come on.
As long as you're pushing, you'll do fine.
Just keep promoting.
I try to keep that, but even 10 campaigns in my career, I still check every so often.
It's a great product. It's a low goal. You have nothing to worry about. It's great. The big thing to do now is promote.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
that's a big thing. And now, especially now that you got everything ironed out with IGG. So, you're good to go. You're posted. You're running. You're off and running.
We're going to make it happen.
Done. Well, it's not printed. The comic is done. I just have to finish the rest of the book because I want to have ads from the people that helped me. So you are all invited to have your
Don't say
logo,
that.
whatever
Half
you
your
want
book
to
will be
put
ads.
in the I know, but
we can send him an ad. Cool.
Yeah, but I want to go. I wanna go back to the. Send
we
me.
got 24 pages of
Ron,
comics.
Glenn, Mike,
awesome.
Daphne.
So what is it? You want just a logo and like the website underneath or something? Just something really simple like that?
Yeah, something
like kind of like a sponsors page, but it's all the different comics. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want, because that's my way to say thank you for everything you've done.
Go for quarter page
and everything. So that's just a little. We'll figure it out.
So sort it out first, and then yeah.
Oh man!
Well, I want to thank everybody that was listening today.
The tombstone.
Yeah. Deeply appreciate everybody listening. Deeply appreciate everybody that was here. Rich, we did promote your book, in Contessa 2 is up there on Kickstarter, Chapter 2. So go over there and look. That's INCANTESI for our radio audience, the Incontessi. So go over there and take a look at that book. It's really, really pretty. Go over and take a look at the Sin Killer now over on Indiegogo. Very pretty.
Yeah, if you like, so it's like if you like grittier, like 70s style comics.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. That's the Sin Killer for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Also, Life on Korra. Life on Korra is available on Indiegogo, right?
Yeah, only 17 hours left. So
wow, only 17. Sorry about that. Do we need to put
No, it's cool.
Campaign
it's cool.
up? Okay.
I'm gonna be on later tonight with Dave Brink over in Genuine Comics at 7:30 Central European or 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and tonight at 5:15 on Area Black's channel, and we're gonna do a long closeout stream. It's gonna be an open mic, so if you're like, hey, I got a thing going on too, Marv, then just hop in and have a chat.
Is that 5:15 Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah.
Okay, 5:15 U.S. East Coast time. John Celestri, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can find me at Celestri John on Twitter, and Facebook is John Celestri, and YouTube it's John Celestri. Make use of the name, and you can get Bloodwing Angel Chronicles on it's in demand, and you've got your pins, you've got your mini poster, you got a 52-page book. There's a lot of good stuff. and it's thinking. It's a thinking book.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marv, tell folks how they can find you.
Oh yeah, that's that lag.
There, Marv. He's he's got a leg. Marv, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Just put the hashtag Singular Comic Book or Marv Artwork. And yeah. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, hashtag the Singular Comic Book, and you'll find my my social media. So yeah, that's it. My internet just sucks today. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for starting your campaign with us.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mike Jimmy, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at @and_ents. There is my website, fairiesandents.com. You can find me on Facebook under Fairies and Ents as well, or Mike Jimmy Losha de Bruin. Good luck spelling that one out. And yeah, just hit me up, mostly on Twitter, and always in for a chat. Check out Laugh and Cora on Indiegogo, of course, and see you on the next one.
Okay. Glenn B. Fleming.
Yeah, it's really easy to get hold of me. You can get me on Amazon. Just put my name in. I'm on Amazon. I'm on Facebook, and you can get to me by email on comicsunlimitedmagazine@gmail.com. Everything there is on Amazon.
That's Glenn Fleming with Glenn with 2 N's, Fleming with 1 M.
Yep.
Yes. So go over to Amazon, type that name in, take a look at all them books.
Buy them as well.
Yeah, and buy yes. Exactly.
Yeah, well,
buy them as well.
Part. Yeah, that's the important part.
Don't read them, just buy them.
There you go.
No. Those are the crowdfunding audiences.
Yeah, no. We work too hard on these projects. We want people to read them and enjoy them. Thank you.
Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt on a Monday night drawing, like my life depends on it, with a bottle of Jack Daniels and spouting some crap. You can also find me on a Thursday over on Fultonland, where I talk about comics in general. Sometimes I hang about with the reprobates on Indie Vault, so you can find me there on a Thursday as well, on a Sunday sometimes.
Whenever he wants to stay up until 3 in the morning.
Yeah. You can also find me at russleach.com or comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out more about Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. It's currently not available to buy, but it will be available in August as a reprint via Arrow Comics. So you can get yourself a copy there.
At the printers right now.
It's at the printers right now. Yeah.
So I will be in the direct market as well. And then a second book will be on the way, probably October now.
Sitting in my computer as we speak.
Check out The Outliers as well from Joe Fulton. I'm drawing on there. And there's a few other things that I'll be doing that I'll be able to let everybody know about soon. You can also find me on the Instagram, on the Fleecebook, on the Twitter, on Minds, and all the other sort of crappy social media networks. Come find me. I'll talk to you about comic books and comic book art.
See, Michael, how can folks find you?
The best place to find me is probably on Facebook. Eventually, I'll have a link tree, so that you can just find me on Linktree for everything. And of course, CML80 Art on Twitter. And I mess around on Instagram sometimes. So over there too, you look for See Like a Landing. So, and of course,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, and of course, Calico of Shard coming out soon from Arrow.
That'll be coming out in September. Calico of Shard. It's I would describe it as a high fantasy book. A lot of fun. High action fantasy book.
Yeah.
Would that be how you describe it?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that works.
There's a cat. There's an elf who likes to trade for stuff. There's a centaur warrior who likes to kick ass, and a barbarian fairy who insists that he's Conan. So we're pretty close to it. And
There's a bit of everything.
Wizened wizard, yes.
You like fantasy?
A little bit of everything. Haven't figured out how to write a kitchen sink into it yet, but I'm going to do my best.
The thing is, like, the smaller the creature, the more anger gets like compressed into it.
Yes.
Exactly.
the Napoleon complex. That's it.
Yes.
And I can't wait for folks to read that. It's been a joy to create it. That'll be coming out through Arrow starting in September. It'll be a bi-monthly book. It's a continuing story that'll have a good resolution every couple of issues, just so you're not sitting there waiting on pins and needles for the next episode. The first issue, though, particularly cruel. So looking forward to that great cliffhanger ending. So it's gonna be fun. Well, literally, but that's a whole other story. Daphne, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can head over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're into seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And I'm also on YouTube, where you can see videos of how I do all my work, and also semi-weekly live streams, mostly on Wednesdays. You can also read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format. Oh, which, by the way, Eagle Raven is also going to be available through Liberty Distribution. I'm going to be sending out the package this week. So,
Nice.
So if you want to see Eagle Raven in your local comic book shop, talk to your retailer and have them contact Liberty Distribution, and it will be copies on hand. So it's not like they have to wait 3 months to get these books. So Liberty Distribution also. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a Lord of the Rings adventure, you can head on over to the link at Tall Tales, TILSonline.com, and read the first 20 issues for free as well. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, because like I said at the beginning of the show, I have several campaigns left for the end of the year, so you don't want to miss any of them. Thank you.
Rival Turtle says Marv looks like the Don of comics.
He's the Godfather.
Godfather.
I will make you a comic you cannot refuse.
I wish you a masculine comic.
And hey, folks, again, thanks for listening to the Sunday Funnies for the 11th of July, 2021. 7/11/21, folks. Go out and play your numbers today. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zim. But most of all, you look for Arrow Comics 4.0 on Linktree. That'll send you to our Insta page that we're gaining new followers daily, thanks to our social workers up there. Our social workers. That didn't sound right. Our social platform
Social media
coordinator.
Social media coordinator.
That's not right.
The social workers are for other problems.
Social platform administrators, Nita and Meredith, who we are deeply indebted to. We also have an Arrow Comics 4.0 Twitter, a YouTube channel, and an Arrow Comics 4.0 Facebook page as well as a Friends of Arrow Comics 4.0 that will be showing a lot of art coming up in the near future, and be making more announcements for a lot of great fun books starting in August, September. HeroBot Zero will be available. That's coming from me. It's a character that I've been sitting on for a long time. Can't wait for folks to read. It's a 3-foot tall giant robot that fights large monsters with a bad attitude and a whole arsenal built into his body. It's going to be
It's
going to be great. A lot of fun. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. So read the comic first. Read the comic first.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be great. He's always happy to fight monsters as long as he can do it on the clock. And then in September also, that book is bi-monthly as well, and there's the cover for issue 2 by Scott Rosema, who we haven't had on the program lately. That's all Scott's fault, but I blame him totally.
Scott.
He just can't get up and around. And then of course Only Death Can Save Us will be available in August, and Hybrids from Luke Stone will be available through Arrow through August. And again, they're all available through Liberty Entertainment Distribution. Liberty is a very unique distributor. If you're a retailer out there, a comic shop retailer out there, you need to get them onto ledg.us to take a look at Liberty Distribution. They are very different from Diamond in that anything that you order from Liberty is available immediately So you'll buy from Liberty. Liberty will ship to you, and it's ready for you to take right out of the box and put right up on your shelves for your customers, or in their pull bags, or whatever they need, in order to help you make some money. So to say they're retailer friendly is an understatement. So go over there and take a look at Liberty Entertainment Distribution, ledg.us. We also want to thank our other sponsors to Indie Volt, GeminiComicSupply.com. If you go over there and order your Gemini mailers, and anybody who does crowdfunding or ships through the mail will want to use a Gemini mailer, you go over there to GeminiComicSupply.com, and on your checkout, use the code VOLT10, VOLT10, and you will get 10% off your order, courtesy of Indie Volt and the kind folks over at Gemini Mailers. And we want to particularly tip our hat to Brian over there, who's really looking out for us. This is the only code that you can get for a discount for your Gemini mailers. And hey, 10%. 10% is 10%. And don't sit on your hands about it. We're not sure how long that code will last, but it's good now. So go over there and buy now. So, and we've heard that there's been a lot of people using that code, and we deeply appreciate it. Also coming in September will be Paragon #1 from Arrow Comics. Can't wait for you to read that. It's a nice, unique superhero story that isn't like all the other superhero stories out there. Can't wait for folks to read that as well. And I guess I do have Calico up there. Look at there. There we are.
There we go.
Calico is Shard. It's amazing what's there when you look. And as for Indie Volt, coming up later today, I do believe Varian plans on doing another episode of Special Issues. That'll be 2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there. I know he's got stuff to talk about if he is conscious and medicated enough to be online. He will be on there tonight, talking about something. I believe it's race and comics is what he was going to be talking about. That's a very touchy subject, but one that really needs to be talked about and addressed. Then on Tuesday night, 9 p.m., we will have the Live Wire program as usual. Then Wednesday night, there will be Geekgasm with Daphne as co-host, with the Indie Princess, maybe Nita, maybe Meredith, who knows who else will be on there for a look at nerdism and geekery from a feminine perspective. Right? That doesn't sound it's about right.
A feminine and sexy perspective.
Yeah.
Especially for the radio listeners.
You probably won't be talking about the latest Supergirl then, will you? Anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
No.
Who knows? It's like our discussions go all over the place.
Just like this program.
Just like today.
Yeah. We're sponsored. We're sponsored by Smirnoff. If that gives you an idea of how the conversation.
There you go.
Smirnoff, is that something journalists use?
That's only the good one.
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, yeah.
No, this is a much completely different thing.
Yeah, completely.
The sponsor we deeply cherish.
Although journalists
like
probably
Smirnoff.
use too much of that.
If you're going to drink vodka, drink Smirnoff. Come
There
on.
you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The official sponsor.
Yes. Thursday morning, we'll have the breakfast buzz again at 9 a.m. All of these times are Eastern Standard Times, so adjust your clocks accordingly. Then again on Saturday night is Backer Shots. That's only over on Lola, the Indie Princess's channel. That's where our guests and Lola, the announcer or the host, takes a shot for anybody that backs a campaign.
Not sponsored by Smirnoff.
Not sponsored by Smirnoff. No,
not sponsored.
No, that's why it's over on Lola's channel and not here on Indie Volt.
Exactly.
That's more of a tequila night.
Yeah, it really is.
With cocaine, though.
Yeah. No, she needs no.
Then again, we'll be back Sunday morning for the Sunday Funnies show once again, where we try to put the fun back in funny books. And we deeply appreciate everybody there. Nita wants everybody to know that we drink responsibly. Yes,
Yeah.
Always at home.
Right.
Always at home. Yes,
that's true. Yes.
I don't believe that.
And Joe from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher says, yes, there is a special issues today. Probably 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock at the latest, depending upon varying in his schedule. So we deeply appreciate everybody listening in. We want to thank everyone out there in Radio Land for taking their time with us this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending upon where in the world you are. We deeply appreciate you all. So on our way out, anybody have some final words?
Buy independent comics.
Yeah.
Buy independent comics, especially ours.
Especially ours. We're going out the same way we came in, folks. We wish you only the best. Have a great weekend and take care. Don't forget the Indie Volt Awards coming up on September 18th. They're going to be coming at us real fast, so it's going to be a great show. We'll be at a Dave & Buster's and broadcasting live on any platform that'll take us as we bring awareness to alternative and independent comics that maybe some of which that you've missed that have been nominated for consideration by a judged panel. It's not a fan. There's only one award that's a fan popularity contest, but other than that, it's a judged event on quality and merit. And really looking forward to that show as well. So until next time, folks, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.
How
dare you?
What you've accomplished.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market